Hold on to your Canucks gear because we've got thrilling news that could set the tone for the rest of the year. A late summer signing has not only stepped up in a big way, but has also earned himself a lucrative contract extension. How did he go from a prove-it deal to a 5-year commitment? This goaltender's journey is one for the ages, and it's time to dive into what this means for our roster and our hopes for a playoff push. Make sure you're subscribed to catch every detail. Kevin Lankinen has truly turned heads in Vancouver, and it's exciting to see him secure a 5-year contract extension worth $4.5 million per season. This is a massive leap for a player who signed a 1-year prove-it deal just a few months ago for $875,000. Coming off a solid stint with the Nashville Predators, Lankinen entered the season as a free agent, and honestly, I think many of us were curious to see how he would fit into the Canucks roster. Lankinen has stepped up in a big way, especially with Thatcher Demko sidelined for the first 2 months of the season. His performance has been nothing short of impressive. 34 games played, a 2.53 goals against average, and a .905 save percentage. Those 4 shutouts, they're tied for second best in the NHL, making it clear that he's not just a backup. He's a vital part of the team. And let's not forget that he has outperformed Demko in several key categories this season, which is something I never expected to say. Demko, who carries a 2.87 goals against average and a .891 save percentage, has had his struggles, and Lankinen has stepped up to fill the gap. What's even more exciting is Lankinen's recent performance at the Four Nations Face-Off, showcasing his skills on an international stage. After a shaky start against the USA, he bounced back against Sweden, stopping 21 of 24 shots in an overtime win. That resilience speaks volumes about his character and ability to perform under pressure. It's this kind of grit that Canucks fans have been longing for, and it's refreshing to see a player deliver in critical moments. Now, with Lankinen securing a long-term deal, what does this mean for the Canucks moving forward? It creates a solid goalie tandem with Demko, at least for one more season. But here's where I get a bit torn. On one hand, I love the idea of having Lankinen as a reliable backup, but on the other hand, will this push Demko to elevate his game? He's been the go-to guy for so long, and perhaps a little competition could spark a resurgence in his play. But then again, what if Demko struggles to find his rhythm? This contract extension seems to indicate that the Canucks are building a competitive team, and Lankinen's performance has played a significant role in that vision. It shows the front office is willing to reward players who step up when it matters. But can we trust that these strategic moves will pay off in the long run? That's the big question. And you? What do you think? Was this the right decision for the Canucks? Do you believe Lankinen can maintain this level of performance over the next 5 years? Honestly, I'm excited yet cautiously optimistic. The potential is there, but hockey is a fickle beast, and we all know how quickly things can change in this league. As we dive into the latest Vancouver Canucks updates, I have to say, the buzz surrounding Brock Boeser is palpable. With the NHL trade deadline looming on March 7th, the air is thick with speculation, and Canucks fans are left wondering what the future holds for our talented winger. Boeser recently sat down with the media and made it clear that he's open to remaining a part of this team. That's music to my ears, but it also raises a ton of questions about the direction the Canucks are headed. Let's break it down a bit. Boeser had a remarkable season last year, netting 40 goals, but it's safe to say that he's not on track to hit those heights again this season. Coming off a rough year can be tricky, especially with his contract situation hanging over his head. As we know, trade rumors surrounding Boeser have become an annual rite. But hearing him express his love for Vancouver gives me hope. I'm more than willing to come back, he stated. And that passion is something I believe could energize both him and the team if he sticks around. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Boeser is just 3 goals shy of hitting the 200 mark in his career, and let's face it, we missed his presence during last year's playoffs. His ability to score and contribute on the power play is something the Canucks desperately need if they want to make a serious push for the postseason. This year, the inconsistency from some of the other players, including Elias Pettersson, has put us in a tough spot, but adding Boeser back into the mix could change the narrative. But here's the kicker. While I want to believe that retaining Boeser is the right move, it's also vital to consider the bigger picture. General Manager Patrick Allvin has made some bold decisions recently, like trading JT Miller to the New York Rangers. That move sent shockwaves through the fan base, and now we're left to wonder if Boeser could be the next piece to leave. I can't help but feel torn about this. On one hand, I see the value Boeser brings, but on the other, we need to be smart about how we manage our roster and contract situations. Let's not forget that if Boeser decides to test the free agency waters, there are teams out there, like the Minnesota Wild, who would be more than willing to scoop him up. With their financial situation improving, they could make a compelling case for him to return to his home state. It's a tough pill to swallow as a Canucks fan, knowing that we might be risking losing a player who has the potential to get back into form and contribute significantly. So what does this all mean for us? If Boeser stays, it could signal a commitment to building a competitive team around him. If he goes, it might just mean another rebuild phase, and I don't know about you, but I'm not sure how much more of that I can take. The uncertainty is exhausting. I want to know what you all think. Do you believe keeping Boeser is the right path? Honestly, I'm torn. There's so much at stake here, and every decision feels monumental as we try to find our footing in this league. And you? What do you think? I want to hear your opinions down below. How do you feel about Boeser's future with the Canucks? Are you hopeful, or do you think it's time to part ways? Let's get the conversation going, because our voices matter. If you enjoyed this discussion and want to stay updated on all things Vancouver Canucks, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you activate the notification bell to get all the latest updates, because we're in for an exciting ride as the trade deadline approaches. Let's keep this community growing and thriving.